Microsoft Copilot saves your chat conversations so you can go back to them and continue at any time. But what about sharing research you've done with your teammates? What about organizing material from Copilot with information from other sources? There are two big features for saving, sharing, and organizing information with Copilot. We're talking about Copilot Pages and Copilot Notebooks. Just be aware, notebooks are only available to users with the full Microsoft 365 Copilot subscription. I'm Nick, and this is video 6 out of 14 in my full-length training course on using Copilot in an organization. You can find links to the other videos in the description. Now first, I could start a new Copilot chat, or I could just go to my chats on the left and open one of my saved chats. At the bottom of every Copilot response, you will find some controls. The share button will generate a link you can send to your teammates that will show them these same Copilot results. Or you could click the copy button to copy the text of the response so you can simply paste it somewhere else, like in a document or in an email. But let's see this option to edit the response in a page. You could also think of this as saving the response in a page. But first, there are several responses in this Copilot chat. So I want to scroll back to a specific response, then find those buttons under the response that I'm most interested in. And from here, I'll click that button to edit in Pages. And now the Copilot interface is sort of compressed over to the left side. And on the right side, I have a new page that contains the content of that Copilot response. Pages give you a place to save, modify, or add to information that you've researched in Copilot. If you've ever used Microsoft Loop, you will find that the interface and the toolset is very similar. It's a good idea to go to the top and give this page a better name. And you can edit the content of the page. I don't need all of this information, so I'll delete what I don't want. And I could type new information to add my own notes or anything else I want to save on this page. You can copy and paste content on a page. You can add pictures. And each piece of content that you have on a page is called a block. If I point at this block of text, a button with 6 dots appears to the left. This is a control handle. I can use this to drag a block around on the page to change the order, or I can click on that handle for more controls. Now, at the bottom of this page, I'm going to start a new line. But instead of typing some text, I'll hit the / key, and that opens a menu where you can choose different types of blocks that you might want to add to the page. So if I wanted to create a new list or a table, I can choose that block type here, and then I can fill in the information. But for now, I'll just use the control handle to delete that block. One of the biggest benefits of Pages is that you can easily share them. Click the Share button at the top and you can create a link to this page. With the link created, it copies that link so you can paste it into an email or anywhere else. With that link, your teammates can get to this page and can see the research you've organized. You can also click the Settings button when you generate a link. You can decide if your teammates can edit or only read the content. You can set an expiration date and more. For now, I'll just close this panel. So sharing is a big part of this, but organization is the other. In the top right, I can click the X to close this page. And let's think about how we can get back to that page later. Well, first, if you're looking at the Copilot chat that you used to start that page, you'll find a link to the page in that chat. But a better way to access your pages is to use the Library button in the sidebar on the left. In the Library, with the Pages tab selected, all of your pages will be listed and organized here. You can click on one to open it so you can view and edit that page. But there's also a button to create a new page from here. Or if you point at a page, a menu button appears, which you can open and find the option to delete that page. Now that we've seen how to work with Pages, the next thing I want to look at is a notebook. I'll go to the Notebook option in the sidebar on the left and click the button to make a new notebook. I'm going to name this notebook Company Policies. And to start a new notebook, you need to choose information sources. You can choose from this list of recent files that you've used, including any Copilot pages you may have. You could upload files from your computer, or choose a file from your OneDrive, and you could even drag files to this panel. But I'm looking for 2 documents that are here in the recent list: my company's employee manual and my company's social media manual. As I click each one, they are added to the list below. You may want to choose several information sources, and you can always add more later. But for now, my notebook has a name, it has some sources, so I'll click the Create button. And the notebook is a place where you can perform research based on those sources. In other videos, we talked about how Copilot can get information from the internet or from your work data. But in a notebook, it focuses on the sources you provide. It may still find supporting information and context from the internet, but the main source of knowledge are the documents that you provide. So I could ask, what happens when I'm late for work? It answers the question, and looking at the citations, I can see that it found that information from the employee manual. Just like any Copilot chat, you can continue with follow-up questions, or you can click the New Chat button up at the top to reset. And a notebook works best when you go beyond simple questions. Think of this as a specialized research platform. So here's a slightly more challenging question, which may require information from more than one of my sources. Let's see what it says. And as I suspected, it has some information about conflict of interest policies from my employee manual and guidelines for social media posts from the social media manual. I'll click the New Chat button up at the top to reset. Now on the main page, you can go to the References tab to add or remove information sources. And you can go to the Chats tab to see previous Copilot chat conversations. Or you can use the Audio Overview option. This generates an audio discussion related to the information in your sources. It's a lot like a podcast. You can choose the format, the style, or the duration, and there are a few different synthesized voices that you can choose from. But you can also write a prompt to give the conversation a specific focus. I'll tell it to focus on potential conflicts of interest related to social media strategies. But you could just leave this empty and get a general overview of your sources. This will take some time to generate, but I'll skip forward in time. And let's hear a bit of this overview.
Hey, glad you're here today. We're breaking down the world of Colvento's social media, specifically.
And I'll skip forward a bit here and listen to a little more.
Right, like if you post something that sounds official, but HR or leadership hasn't actually reviewed it, messy.
The handbook also points out.
And you get the idea. So you can listen to that full overview here, or you can save it to your OneDrive to check out later. If you close it here, you can open it again later by clicking on the Play Audio button up at the top. Or if you want to set different parameters for the overview, you can click the Customize button. For now, I'll just close this. Notebooks can be incredibly valuable for team collaboration. There's a Share button up at the top, and you can invite your teammates to use the notebook. If you start typing a name in the field, it searches your company directory. Find the person you want and click on them. And of course, you can add multiple people, and then you can invite them. They'll get an email with a link to the notebook. And when you're finished, you can just click the New Chat button on the left to reset to the normal Copilot interface. But that notebook is still there, waiting until I have more research questions about that topic. Take a look at the Notebook section in the sidebar on the left. If you don't see the new notebook, just refresh the page, and then you could open your notebook from the side panel, or you can click All Notebooks to see the full list of all of your notebooks. So now, research in Copilot is much more useful because you have ways to store, organize, add to, or share the information you've collected from Copilot. And notebooks give you a space to focus and find insights on specific topics. And all of this can be shared with your teammates to enable collaboration and group research. Remember, this video is part of a full training course. This is video 6 out of 14. The links to the other videos are in the description, or you can access the playlist on this channel.